So are good dogs just magically good dogs? Like Gigi here, she's an angel, you guys. Or are good dogs made because they're trained to be good? That's a great debate. And I gotta tell you, there's a little bit of both aspects within this dynamic. So a lot of times you will have dogs who are just inherently very obedient, kind, submissive. They don't like to rock the boat. This is really rare though. In all of my years of training dogs, it's rare that I find a dog like this. 9 times out of 10, we find an angelic dog to be created through the relationship between the human and the canine. When a human effectively communicates its desires, needs, expectations with the dog in a manner that the dog can understand, is typically when you find the perfect example of a canine. Because I've trained dogs for so long, when I raise my puppies, it's second nature for me to set certain things into practice. As soon as a dog becomes part of my household, I begin explaining to this dog what my expectations are in a language that the dog can understand. We teach the dog to only go potty outside. I do games with the puppy so the puppy learns that the crate is a safe space. It's a happy place for the dog to catch up on some much needed rest. And also when the dog is left alone, it's a sacred time. It's not a time for anxiety. If you raise your puppies correctly, and you can even reformat adult dogs, even if they've been abused, even if they've been traumatized, they don't carry forward memories from the past like humans do. Humans are the only ones that do that. Dogs do not. So stop hanging on to the dog's past, because a dog is not doing that. So you can always reformat behaviors no matter how old the dog is. But when you set the stage for your expectations, it's so easy for these dogs to fall into place. When they don't have any guidance as far as what you expect, then that's where the problems occur, because the dog starts guessing. And then the person says, my dog's misbehaving, I don't know why. Well, you haven't explained to the dog what you expect it to do and not to do. One of the first things I teach my puppies is to come to me when I call their name, and to go away from me when I tell them to do so that they don't become overly dependent upon me. I want them to be okay when I'm not in their space, and I also want them to rejoice when I am in their space. So this is something I set up right away when they're puppies. I also teach them that my things are my things and their toys are their things. The items that I give them are their things, but they're never allowed to guard it or possess it, because no matter what, I always own everything, and I have the right to take that back. If I give you a toy, I have the right to change my mind and take it back. So right away, we're getting into this dynamic of give and take, and that I will always do it in a fair way, and that they should always relinquish control to me. This is something I do when they're itty-bitty babies. We do it as a trade system for food or something else that they want. They're rewarded for the appropriate behavior. So there's never any conflict around it. There's never any anger around it. Anytime I teach my dogs a command or a word that I want them to respond to, it's always in a neutral tone. Usually I can just point at something and the dog knows what I want, because having a give and take relationship with the dog is not about controlling the dog with your voice. By that I mean with the volume of your voice. I always teach my dogs to try and read my mind so that I don't have to use my voice, to anticipate my needs and anticipate the rules so that I don't have to enforce them. That's the trick. You want your dog trying to anticipate you. That's where the magic happens. So let me tell you guys, most of the time, a angelic, perfect dog is not something that just falls into your lap. It's something that's nurtured and cultivated through your relationship with the dog. So if you're not liking the relationship you have with the dog, it's time to take some action, make some new choices, do some work with the dog to teach the dog what your expectations are. And then you're going to have a much better relationship with that dog. Right, Gigi? She's so impressed. All right. Good luck, you guys. Love ya.